Right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه وولاه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد, inshallah, today we talk about practical examples when dealing with our children, or especially adolescent or مراهقين and teenagers. When we have those issues, what should we say? What should we do? The past couple of lectures, we were doing more of the foundation and the background, the criteria. So when you have a foundation that everything is connected to the deen, everything is connected to the faith and our relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal, then we understand. We do not own our children. We do not own our spouses. We do not own anybody in a relationship. They are willing to have a relationship. It takes two to have a relationship. They are willing to have a relationship or staying in a relationship. Then if they are not, then we have to understand that what are our duties and what are our rights and what we should do at that time. What makes us take a wrong decision or a wrong stance or handle it in a wrong way? Because we understand the relationship. We do not understand the relationship correctly. So if there is a problem with your child, you become mad at them and you shout, or somebody like physically hit or abuse or do something like that. Why? The reason is we are mad for ourselves. Not we are mad because of the action. No, we are mad because we are not in control. That's what it is. You are mad because you are not in control. You like to be in control. Control means, I tell you what to do, you do it. Or you're just doing what I like, okay? There's no issue. But the minute you do something that I don't like, or you don't do what I told you to do, then I'm mad. I'm mad why? Because my order or my suggestion is broken or not followed. So I'm mad for myself. But Islam does not teach us that. It teaches us to be mad at the action. Mad at the action. That's what Sister Iman said last time. You're mad at the action. A person in my relationship, Allah forbid, and Allah protect all of us, started drinking, for example, or doing drugs, or something bigger or something smaller. They disobeyed Allah. So now why I'm mad? I'm mad because they disobeyed Allah. Come on, I'm mad because this is my child losing their life or doing that. That's understood. But that will, it should make you think how you save the one that you love from the wrong that they are doing. That is the natural, innate fitra feeling. And the Islamic thing, it tells you what to do also. Is it only advice? Would you repeat advice? You keep the relationship, but you restrict communication? No communication, no relationship? What are you going to do? It depends also. Are they doing like shirk, kufr? Are they like having a haram relationship? Are they substance abusing? Are they stealing? Are they gambling? Are they having foul mouth? Each one of those have a degree what you should do. But you hate the action, they change that action, then you're fine. So being mad or unhappy, or you shouting, would it solve that problem? And you would have all done it. If shouting at somebody would have solved the problem, everybody would be shouting, You'll hear shouting 24/7. But it doesn't solve the problem. You're cutting them off, or some people say disowning, with my reservation on the word, or dissociating from their children. Is this a solution or not? Do you keep the relationship, as I said, while advising or not? You have to decide, like, what to keep the relationship or keep it to the minimum, or what should I do, seek the counseling of somebody or not. But the main issue, and that is the key, if you're looking for a magical key, that is the key. How you look at it, right? And that first reaction, and then you have to have a plan. If your child comes to you and said, I'm gay. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm gay. I'm telling you, I like the same gender. What are you going to do? You know, you're not going to do good if you don't think about it now. That's the shocking aspect. If you don't think about it now as a scenario, you know. Mom, Dad, I have a boyfriend. Your daughter, my daughter says, or I have a girlfriend. And we have like the full relationship, like husband and wife relationship. Just wanted you to know. And they're taking it easy, you know. So again, what are you going to do? They are not you, by the way. So don't talk to them as if they are you. Okay? How come you did this? Don't you know it is haram? Yeah, they do. It's not like we're not in the Middle Ages here, or they are not like non-Muslims. No, they are Muslims. They know that this is haram. As I told you before, their perception of haram and halal associated with God-fearing and hellfire and Yawm al-Qiyamah and the wrong social is not there. It's not there. I'm not justifying what our children do, and I'm not saying that it is hopeless. No, like I told you before, the relationship is not going to be based on authority and instruction, right? So you're going to take from your kids what you want and more, but not the way that we are. So it's not going to be, I'm the figure of authority and I have to tell you things and you have to do things. It doesn't work like that. And instead of saying, you go ahead and do this, he said, you know, would you please do this? I'd love you to do this. I'd like you to take over this project. You know, I'm happy when you help me out. Would you please get me a glass of water? Do you mind doing that? Do you need help with cleaning your room? See, you are saying the same exact thing. So, but you are on a goal-oriented, meaning you want something to be done. So this is the way to get it done, to be more friends, to be more on some kind of mutual ground with the children, rather than you are the ultimate figure. They have to respect you, not be afraid of you. That's not going to happen anymore from now until Yawm al-Qiyamah. It's not going to happen anymore that the relationship is like I'm the big one and you are the small one and you have to listen to what I say because I have the father-mother card. It's not going to work. It's done. We're done with that. You know, I'm giving it to you without sugarcoating. We're done with that. You like it, fine. You disagree with what I'm saying, it's okay. It's up to you, man. But this authority figure punishment strategy and instructional kind of plan that I give instruction and you follow it is not going to work. Okay. How would you like to plan your schedule today? You know, what is your schedule today? I ask my children sometimes, what's your schedule today? Because, you know, I have something that I want to arrange my schedule according to yours. It's not like, you know, I am doing this and I'm going to the masjid and you have to do such and such. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. I tried, it didn't work. But when I said, let's plan together how we manage this day and we are a team at this house, you know, you help me with this, I help you with that, you know, I need you in this, you need me in that, let's make a deal. Everything for a deal. Yeah, it works. It works. And you use money, you use rewards, you use like love, you take them out, you give them something that you want, you make deals. Allah make deals with us. So what's the problem making deals? And some parents, they feel that making deals is not good. No, that my children have to do it regardless. Fine, I agree with you. But sometimes you have to make deals. Allah make deals. He said, do this, I give you Jannah. Whoever does this, I give this. This is my part and this is your part. The Fatiha is divided to two. Rasul said, whoever guarantees me this, I guarantee him Jannah. You see? Deals. Yani what else other than a deal? Inna Allah ashtara min al-mu'minina anfusahum wa lahum anna lahum al-jannah. You sell yourself and your belongings to Allah, Allah give you Jannah. If you do this, if you don't do that, you lose this. For deals. Yani why not make deals with our children? You know, if you are good and you recite the Quran, this, I'm going to get you that toy that you want or that thing that you want. No problem. It's not like what you think, you know, they are doing it for the material purpose. No, they are doing it for the reward. That's fine. We are also doing things for the reward from Allah Azza wa Jal until your children develop that. So what I'm trying to say is, if we do not change our perception on the relationship, we're not going to have a good relationship. Also, if we do not change our perception on how to react to major problems, we're not going to handle the major problems. So you have to know. That's my proposal to you. All of us here, regardless how good your children, I'm not going to say how bad, we'll assume that all of them good, inshallah. Regardless how good your children, assume that one day that they can come up with a major sin. Assume one day that they can have, a passion or something for the same gender. Assume one day that they'll have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Assume one day that they may do drugs. May Allah save them from all of that. But assume. You got to assume it in your head. Assume that one day that your son will decide not to get married, or your daughter who does not want to get married, or they have an issue with something, or they are struggling financially. You have to assume these things. Sayyidina Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman, radiallahu anhu, he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam about evil. He said, Ya Rasulullah, is this goodness that we are in will be followed by evil? He said, yes. And then he said that evil will be followed by goodness. He said, yeah, goodness with some smoke in it, not pure. Then he said it will be all followed by evil. He said, yes. Then goodness will come, and then Yawm al-Qiyamah. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that there will be the prophethood and the Khulafa al-Rashidin. That's his pure goodness. Then after that, the Umayyad, the Abbasi, and all of that. The fitna that happened at the time of Sayyidina Uthman and all of this, that's evil. And then the Umayyad and all of that, it is goodness, but it has smoke in it, not pure goodness like it was at the time of Rasulullah and the Abu Bakr and Umar and the beginning of Uthman's time. So fitna became evil at the time of Sayyidina Ali and all of that. Then, became goodness with, and then evil, chaos. What you see right now, it's chaos everywhere, that's evil. And then with little goodness in it. But then complete goodness will come back again, but that is the end of it. Like it started with goodness, it will end with goodness. But Huzaifa said, why I asked Rasulullah like that? He said later to his students, he said, كان الناس يسألون رسول الله عن الخير. Everybody asked Rasulullah about goodness, how to pray, what is the good thing waiting for us, this, that. وكنت أسأله عن الشر مخافة الوقوع فيه. I asked him about evil out of the fear of falling into it without knowing. You see, that is the part I took from that hadith and I'm teaching you in this course. That is the part, that's the exact part. I am asking him about evil out of fear that it comes while I'm alive and I fall into it without knowing. So I'd rather learn about evil while everybody doesn't want to learn about evil. So if it comes, then I recognize it. But I ask about good and yes, that's good. Ask about good to be good. But what if evil presents itself in the midst of your life? And you never, I never thought that this is going to happen. I never thought that, my children will do that. I never thought that I'm going to get divorced. I never thought, but no, you should think of those things. Yes, ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to save you. I may get a heart attack. I may get cancer. I may get a brain tumor. I may die suddenly. What am I prepared for that? What have I prepared for this? Yeah, I talk with my children, like if I die at any given time, what you guys gonna do? Oh, Mama, don't say that. They cried and whatever. But yeah, I know it's hard. What are you gonna do? Talk to me. Tell me what you're gonna do. I can make a wasiyah and a will and everything, but you tell me what you're gonna do. We don't know. Well, imagine that this happened today. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, what is the first thing you're going to do? That's why we fill in the forms. Emergency contact, emergency contact, emergency contact. We never thought that emergency is going to happen. When you are filling the emergency contact, then do that. Then think like that. Think like you are now having a heart attack or a stroke or something like that, and they are calling that emergency. Have you thought about it like that? They're calling that brother or that sister of yours. Do you think that they are going to be able to, or you just want to fill the paper and get over with the application? That's the idea. I know this is a new concept. This is a new approach I'm telling you now, but think about what you do. When you putting your email, sometimes you put your bad email. Why? Because you know that this is spam. That's good thinking, because you just want to get over with. So do that in the rest of your life. Like I put my Gmail when the things are important and serious. I put my Hotmail or whatever because when that's email, I don't even, but I just need to add an email. So they want an email, I give them an email. That's fine because you already understood and evaluated that application or that situation. I want you to evaluate your life like that. That's what Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, that you will be tested. So Allah will know who is lying and who is truthful. What does that ayah mean to you? What does it mean? That means that I have to ask myself, whenever, am I a liar or am I a truthful person? Yeah, I'm a truthful mu'min. Oh, how? What are the things that makes you a truthful mu'min? Do you have them? Check. 90%, 70%, or what? Or you just assume? إن قوما قالوا نحسن الظن بالله إن قوما غرتهم الأماني. Al-Hasan al-Basri said some people, they were deceived by own hopes. Oh, Allah forgiving, Ghafur Rahim, and all of that. That's what he means. قالوا نحسن الظن بالله. We assume good about Allah. Allah is Ghafur, Allah is Rahim, Allah's mercy is higher and bigger than our sins. Great, you're saying right. But what comes next? He said, والله لو أحسنوا الظن لأحسنوا العمل. By Allah, if they really know what assuming good about Allah, they would have done good for Allah. If you assume good at Allah Ghafur Rahim, you will be eager to pray more. But you are saying it while you are not doing it. You are not doing what Allah forgives you for. Like you are doing some good, but there is some sin. And you are saying Allah will forgive the sin because of the good. Okay. But somebody is not doing any good, not taking any initiative, and saying Allah is Ghafur Rahim. No, it doesn't work like that. So what I'm saying is, how to deal with problems when everything fails. The answer is there. Everything failed. How are you going to deal? Talk to me, sisters. Now, the question itself says, when everything fails, you tried everything. And that I put under that many lines. I tried everything. And everything fails with my child. What should I do next? You tell me. You tried everything already, didn't you? So what then what? Then salim lamrillah. They said, Ya Allah, help me. Khalas, I'm done. But don't ask like that. Say, how can I deal with the situation? When there is a chance. There's always a chance. If you say everything failed, means khalas, I cannot help you. I can't. Because people come and said, Sheikh, I have a problem with my teenage. Have you tried this? Oh yes. Oh, but he is. Make sure that the problem does not have a solution. Those are not the people I want to counsel, actually. No. You come and say, I tried this. Please advise me if there is anything else I can do. And listen. And adjust and customize. But don't keep throwing back challenges. And you tell us, oh, but they are not here with me except once every month. How can I help you? If have you tried to reach to them? Oh, it's far. There is a grandfather. No, they don't talk. Father, oh, he's busy. You coming me with answers to all my suggestions. That means you don't want help. What do you want? You want me to say, you know what? It's all right. Allah will forgive, and don't worry about it. Yalla, go home. That's sometimes I feel that people, that's what they want. They want someone to tell them, you're okay, you're not guilty, you don't have any problems, your children are bad, but inshallah they'll become good, and don't do anything. Just make dua. Yalla, go home. Ma'as-salam. Oh, the Sheikh told me to care. Is this what you're looking for? Really? Seriously? As I said, most of the time, it comes back for our own self, our own satisfaction. It's not like we want to fix the problem. No, I don't want to be ashamed. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to be told that this is my son. It's about me. It's not about them. It's not about that aman Allah gave me. It's not about another human being that might go to hellfire. It's not about that. It's about me, my prestige, my name, my look, my status. And they are making me uncomfortable. Yeah, my daughter left the house. My son left the house. and they moved in their own, or they have a boyfriend, or they have a girlfriend. You're not going to go announce that, but you're afraid that somebody will discover. So you're not actually handling the problem, and you will never do handle the issue. You will never do handle the issue. You know how many times that parents came to me that their children have boyfriend and all of that, and they're mad at them and all of this. And then how many times I told them, well, to get them married. First thing now, you're not going to separate them. They are sinning already. So what should I do? Get them married. Oh, can we do that? Oh, yes. And once you suggest it to the kids, wow, they are happy. Yeah, so this is going to be fine, yeah. I'm not going to announce in the community that you were doing this and now you're that. No, get them married. And sometimes the boyfriend or the girlfriend, they're not Muslims, they become Muslim. You have a major issue. Yes, it's a problem. Absolutely. It's a major sin. Yeah, this pleases Allah. You can talk about it, write volumes. Is this what we are concerned about at this minute here? No, this is what is done. You are describing what is done. Yeah, a situation that my child comes to me with. Number one, this is done. They are describing what started already, what they are having now as we speak. So I'm not going to discuss why it happened and this and that, except for the reason to solve this situation now. What is my plan to solve this situation at this moment ongoing? Would this be something that will stay with them for the rest of their life, like a disease or a sickness or something, and I have to cope with it? Is this something that will take long-term cure? Is this something that can take short-term, or it can be a drastic action can be taken right now to eliminate it, to fix it, to go around it, to cope with it? Exactly what it is, like a diagnosis. What is the exact issue? Like a disease, you know, your son or daughter are coughing, and now there are germs all over. Now they can get somebody sick. You go right away to the emergency room and to that. Where is my moral emergency room at this moment? Where is that vaccination? Where is that treatment for the disease? Same thing, psychologically and morally. Same exact thing. A psychiatrist evaluate and give medication. Therapist will evaluate and give treatment by talking and advising. Same thing. Religion. We measure sin. We stop it. We try to fix it. They are doing haram, we let them get married. They are doing drugs, let's get a rehab, and you know, save the relationship and make them understand things. Education also. If they don't have any of that problem, then we educate, we talk about it, and have those uncomfortable conversations. So as I said, it's not going to be like you know, a magic pill. And you go for it. Last time I told you, what do they feel? Your children, they feel insecure. They feel emotional imbalance. They feel this capricious mood, like up and down and all that. They want to prove themselves. They rebel not because they hate you. No, they rebel because this is the way that they mark their territory. Well, tell them, go ahead and mark your territory. You see, you don't wait until a challenge happens. Mark your territory. You know, sometimes I give my son some money to invest, knowing that he's going to lose all of it. Know it, but because you know I'm saving myself from what? Dad, I want to invest this $100. No, you're not capable of investing. No, I'm capable of investing. He might go steal it. He might go get it from his uncle, get it from someone. Now I lost the chance. I said, here's $100, right? But learn from your experience. If you gain, see how you gained and how you can maintain that. And if you lost, see why you lost. So the next $100 is not lost, or at least most of it not lost. See? So you contained the situation. And then the $100 lost. But most likely there will be no other $100 lost. Because now you put them in front of themselves in a mirror. You put a mirror in front of them. I trusted you, you have to trust me. So here's $100. Go do your way. Now when you lose the $100, you're not going to come and ask me, give me another $100 because I lost the first one. Why? You're going to say, why should I? And it makes sense. But the first one, why are you not giving me the $100? But they took the $100 and lost. It opened a channel for you to be a dad, to be a mom. I purchased it for $100, knowing exactly that I'm going to lose it. Okay? Sometimes you make bigger deals, sometimes smaller, depends, you know. But that's how you communicate. Okay? What if I come to you that I like somebody who's not a Muslim? The girl, I'm saying. What if I met someone and he's not a Muslim? It's not haram to like somebody. It's not haram to love somebody. It's in the heart. But it's haram to act upon that by eyes, by words, by hands, by touch, by physical. That's what the part is haram. Yeah. See how you handle it? Oh no, Muslim, a'udhu billah, astaghfirullah. Relax. Liking a person. This is a relationship. The original default rule of relationships is allowed. Unless it's specified, certain things specified, it's not allowed. So what's not allowed in any relationship? The physical relationship, a man and a woman being alone together, regardless Muslim or non-Muslim, and the woman cannot marry a non-Muslim guy. That's what's not allowed. But they can be co-workers. They can, you know, be classmates, neighbors. Okay, they talk, fine. But what happens in the talking and what happens after that, that is where the issue is. And that's our rules. Okay, so we can talk to him about it. And why would you give up your Islam for him and he does not give up his religion for you? Why? I always ask that question. You say men and women are equal. So why? Why you are not doing that? Yani if it is as someone who have to accommodate, why it has to be the Muslim woman who accommodate the non-Muslim man? Why it's not the other way around? I'm talking from a logical point of view. Yani the man is the one supposed to be sacrificing more for his girl, whom he loves. But it is always, the shaitan always comes and says, oh, your Islam preventing you from living with the love of your life. So go ahead and give it up. But what, are you the love of his life? Yes, why he doesn't make everybody happy then? And instead of you and him happy, but you're making Allah unhappy. If he becomes a Muslim, he's not going to lose much. Look at it that way. Like you said, I'm not going to lose much. No, he's not going to lose much. And you stay Muslim, and Allah is happy. And you go to Jannah because you met someone Muslim. And make it look different. And most of the guys I talk to who are non-Muslim say, yeah, it's all right. It's okay. You know, I understand. I respect her religion. But her religion says that you have to say the Shahada and become a Muslim and commit. Oh, Sheikh, I don't want him to marry her because he make Islam because of her. So what? Huh? Yeah, so what? If someone become a Muslim because he likes what I said, Sheikh Mamdouh, he likes a khutbah I said and he became a Muslim. Are you going to tell him, oh, you did not accept Islam for the sake of Allah, you accept it because you like the Sheikh? Yeah, I accept it because I like the Sheikh. Had I seen another Sheikh, I wouldn't have become a Muslim. Said, okay, thank you. As long as you become a Muslim, then later work on your iman with Allah. Mashi al-hal. That's all right. So if a man accepts Islam to marry a woman, yeah, actually Sahaba did that. Sahaba did that. Abu Talha al-Ansari, when he wanted to marry Sulaim, so after her husband died, so he come to her to propose. She said, you are a man not to be refused. Every woman in Medina who are in, open for marriage will never reject you, but I cannot marry you. He was like, what? Like he came with full guarantee that he will be accepted. So she said, you are a kafir and I am a Muslim. And we're haram for people like you. So he goes and he's like, what? And he goes and said, what is that religion that makes a woman reject someone like me? It's not out of arrogance. Like he said, I have the qualification, and I chose that woman who's a widow and who have children. I could have married like a young girl, but why? And it kept bothering him. Then he goes and said, okay, what does it take for you to agree to marry me? You see the strength Allah gave to the woman, but we look from the other side, like, why I cannot marry a non-Muslim man? That's what the girls say. But she was saying that I'm a Muslim. And then he said, what does it take? She said, you become a Muslim. And he said, well, sister, I don't want any mahar from you. That's my mahar. My mahar is you become a Muslim. When you become a Muslim, your mahar is paid. Khalas. Don't worry. Your Islam is my mahar. And he married her because of that. So he married because of her. If the intention is mixed up or it does not change, then we have a problem. But in general, if he become a Muslim to marry a woman, that's fine. But we tell him, now you are a Muslim, your Islam is supposed to be for the sake of Allah. But the reason or the trigger was marrying a woman, that's fine. So what I'm saying is, like, how you perceive the situation, try to manage it, and we talk to them. What if they insist and they do the haram anyways? Hey man, what are you going to do? You're going to go with your hand and pull them away from each other? No, you're going to bang your head on the table. It's not going to solve the problem. You're going to be mad. It's not going to. Your daughter is your daughter and your son is your son. And you have to now establish the rules. You know what? I'm physically your dad, biologically your dad, biologically your mom, but I cannot treat you as if nothing happened. This is haram and you pursued it, and I give you the solution. The guy can become a Muslim and all of that, but now there will be no communication between us until this situation is fixed. But you are committing zina, you are committing haram, and you are with an non-Muslim person, and any children will be haram children, and so on and so forth. And that's it. What are you going to do? And you have to ask yourself, what else can I do? And if I do it, like, where this is going to go? That's exactly like somebody got cancer. You can cry, you can jump up and down, and you can spend the whole money in the world. If it is stage 3 or 4, we're done. So live with the problem, not expecting that you get rid of it, but you try to get rid of it. You try to eliminate it. You try to cope with it. You try to change it. You try everything there. But once you've done everything, surrender to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Do what you have to do. Like Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لَتَجْدُ قَوْمًا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ يُوَادُّونَ مَنْ حَدَّ اللَّهُ رَسُولَهُ. You will not find people who believe in Allah and the hereafter. They will have this mawadda. Mawadda is the relationship. Allah did not say yuhibbuna. Hubb is in the heart. A person can love his son or daughter naturally, even though they are committing sins. You're not blamed for that. But you're blamed if you have the mawadda, like you communicate with them and deal with them and give them gift and exchange this and exchange visits and recognize their mistake and recognize them even though they are doing wrong. That is the part that you cannot do if you are a believer in Allah and the hereafter. Any question here, or anybody wants to make a comment on that part I just mentioned here?
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so when you mention the mawadda or we being blamed for the mawadda with someone who's committing major sins, or is this because remember last time we were talking about showing love for children as we're, as they're doing things that are wrong, to try to mentor them and make them become better. Right. How is that different from cutting relationship with someone or not having the mawadda with someone who's committing? Is it because the other one, because they're still in a stage where we're mentoring them, or what? I just want to know the difference between the two situations.
Right. That's a good question, but that's what I want you to communicate. So I see how I was understood, Yani. I'm talking about a person committing major sin, knowing that they commit major sin. They were advised enough times, but they insist on it. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So someone comes to you and committing a major sin. Then we try to solve it. This is a major sin son. This is a major sin daughter. This is a major sin brother. This is a major sin wife. This is a major sin. You tell them, right? This is a major sin and it's not acceptable by Allah. And for sure, it's not acceptable by me because I have to abide by the rules of Allah. So let's stop it, make tawbah and do this and this. Oh yeah, I'm wrong and all that. I repent to Allah. They need help. Then you can help. Fine. But they said, no, I'm going to continue with that no matter what you do. Then you advise again and again and again until you see that there is no change. Now, the only thing that they're looking for is for you to recognize whatever they do and accept them the way they are, because this is what this culture is. You accept me for whoever I am. Yeah, whoever you are, I'm not accepting. Don't say, accept me for whoever I am. No, this is not a true statement. You are saying, accept me even though I'm doing wrong. That's what you're saying. For whoever I am, no, I will not accept you for whoever you are. And nobody does. Even you will not accept me for whoever I am. Right? Whoever I am that's disagreeing with you. Why you are not accepting? Using philosophy and logic, huh? So you're saying accept you for whoever you are, committing a major sin. Right? Why should I accept you and you are not accepting me disagreeing with you? Right? Yani, it's not like I am not doing the major sin and you doing the major sin and we accept each other. But that would be hypocrisy, because I'm doing the opposite of what you're doing. What are you accepting exactly? Yani, you are doing the opposite of what I'm doing. So what do I accept? I have to say I accept you, except to that part. And you have to accept me saying that I don't accept you for that part. You have to accept that. That means now it's a paradox. That means there have to be no acceptance. Everyone have to have a principle. Yani, logically speaking, it will not work. If a person having a major sin, committing zina, يعني مثلا, or drinking khamr, and they insisting on it, طبعا insisting on it as it's okay, it makes a person kafir, يعني. But insisting on it because they're weak, that's another story. But anyways, they're insisting on it because they're weak, but they are addicted to it. Let's say that, assume good, يعني. They are addicted to it. They're not kafir or saying it's halal. They know it's haram, but you know, that's what I'm doing and I cannot get rid of it. Do you need help? No, I don't need your help. Okay, so now you're saying I accept. Well, I don't accept that. Why? You have to accept me for whoever I am. Whoever you are a drunk, you're a zani. Well, how should I accept you? My religion say no. If I accept you, I am bad too. That's a major sin on my part too. Accepting whoever doing haram is haram. يعني endorsing that, you know, saying that these people are fine doing what they are doing. No, they're not fine. Yet they have the freedom to do whatever they do. They have that freedom. We are not fine. Practice your freedom. I have my freedom also to disagree with you. So why you're not accepting that? You should also, by your same way of talking, that I have to accept the major sin you are doing, that you accept that my religion saying what you're doing is a major sin, and I respect you. I know what I am doing is a major sin according to your religion, and you have to speak about it, and thank you. I want still you to be my friend. I will not do that. Can they do that? No. Can they be friends? I will say that, okay, I accept you with your major sin, but you have to make the statement with me in front of the audience, right? That thank the sheikh for accepting me for whoever I am, but I also accept him for being a sheikh, and according to his religion, what am I doing is a major sin, and he is mad at it, and he is not satisfied until I figure it out, and I respect him for that. Can we be friends now, sheikh? That's crazy, right? It's insane. But why the person with the faith is the one who has to compromise all the time? That's my contention. That's my thing that nobody answered me so far. Yeah. You know, why I have to give up my faith to accommodate? I said because faith restricts you from everything. Like what? Like accepting people same gender relationship. Okay, fine. How about the pedophilia? The older guys, little children, they do. Oh yeah, haram. This children. Why? Why you make that rule? You don't have a religion to confine you. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you are saying that my religion restricting me from endorsing you. Yeah? Yes. But why are you restricting me from endorsing someone else? Like you, but in another way. That you disagree with. Yeah? So that is the idea. So if somebody committing sin and insisting on it and refusing your advice, then you have to cut the relationship. Okay, that's the part I was talking about. Anyone else wants to add, comment? Raise your hand. You are very good listeners, by the way. You are wonderful listeners. But we want you to also be wonderful challengers. Yalla, Sister Hib.
Yes, I have a question, not a comment. Like if somebody doesn't agree with you and they doesn't want your advice and doesn't want your help, and that person is a son or daughter, you say cut the relationship with that person. How the father or the mother will cut relationship with the child?
Yeah, a child, you do not cut the relationship because they are children still under your supervision. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about adults, like kids who are on their own, like they will go to college or something like that. But you have to sit down.
I'm talking about children.
Yes. If they are younger now, they are under your control. They're under your roof. So you have the ability to enforce, but not enforce because you enforce. No, you say, okay, you living in my house, you have to abide by the rules. Let's make the deal now. You are not going to stay out later. You are not going to have a boyfriend over. You're not going to have a girlfriend over. You're not going to do these things in the house as long as I am the one who's taking care of you. There are minors. Minors have to abide by your authority, right?
No, I'm asking about the children who are adults, like in their own, like 25 and older and stuff like that.
Yeah, you cut the relationship, they get out of the house.
Okay.
They get out of the house. You cannot live here. Minors are minors, right? Even if minors do not listen to you, you can get an order. You can have many things in the government that they will. That's why education is obligatory until high school, right? K to 12. Why? Because the father is the custodian of the child. They are minors, right? You are the parent and the guardian of those children. And this is an easier aspect to deal with. Yeah, it's hard when you are dealing with someone who have an issue, but once they reach 18 and more, you say, okay, this is the options. You cannot do this while you are under my care. And I'm going to cut the relationship with you. Cut the relationship with you means you are on your own. You are on your own. A family came to me a few months ago that their daughter left the house and lives with another friend of hers, female friend, that way. And she told him that I am like that and I'm going to be on my own and I don't want your advice and all that kind of thing. So I told the father, that's fine, talk to her nicely. She's like 21 or something like that. Talk to her nicely and tell her, you are on your own, that's fine, but this is haram. If you are a Muslim, that's not right, and all of this, and we will approve of it. And if you insist on it, we're not going to be there for you. You are on your own. But if you come back and you abandon that, that's fine. But we're still your parents, and if you are in any kind of trouble or anything like that, we'll help you from a human perspective. But that's it. They told her that. And I told them, okay, once the money finishes, she's going to come back. And she did. Came back. And then she left again. See, this is the issue. That's what I was telling you. Like the children stay with us in this culture because they need us. They need you somehow. So you have to work on that need. They are sitting with you because they need you. They'll come back to you because they need you financially or emotionally or whatever. Once they feel independent, they run away again. So we have to develop a kind of relationship based on love and respect and security and, opinions and, exchanging advice and all of that. So when something like that happens, they don't just stay with you because they need you. No, they will feel that they need you all the time. So if there is a disagreement, as you working on bringing them back to you, they will work also to come back to you and compromise certain things. But I know it's a very hard decision. But as I said, if the children, my children, they know if you do any of those things, I'll advise you, I'll help you. If you need help, we'll keep working on it and all. As long as you are weak and you need help, that's fine. Anybody can have a sickness and it continues for a long time. Maybe healed, maybe not healed, but we are working on it and making conscious effort. It's not only just deceiving you. But if you insist on it and all that, then the relationship will split slowly until you are on your own and I'm on my own. And that's it. So it's hard. I know it's hard. But again, at the end of the day, I don't compromise my religion for nobody. I will not compromise my religion for anybody. It's not going to happen. Whether you are my son, my daughter, my dad, my father, my brother, my sister, the decision is made, yeah. And I'm at peace with it. I try my best to a certain extent. If it doesn't work, then you are on your own. And I'm on mine. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts naturally. Humanly, it hurts. It tears the heart apart. But no, my heart belongs to Allah, is number one. And I make dua. بس فيعني before cutting the relationship, it is not one overnight decision. Sister Hiba, Sister Iman, it's not overnight decision. It is a decision that comes after lots of trials, seeking advice, getting good people involved, trying and trying and trying. It may take months, it may take a year, but then once خلاص بقى يعني everything is like tried and that's it. The person said it clearly, no matter what you do that. Then he said, only Allah. سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفي. I'm going to seek forgiveness for you from Allah, and that's it. And that's it. All right, Sister Selma?
So is it the saying disowning? Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, no, but nothing called disowning. Disowning means exactly what? Disassociating, yes. I don't know you, I don't want to hear from you and all of that. That's not disowning. Disowning means saying that that person is not my child. I don't want them to inherit from me and so on like that. That's disowning. So when a father says that's not my child, then it's whose child? Oh, no, I'm not talking biologically. What do you mean then? Disowning means what exactly? I'm asking you.
Oh,
what does disowning mean?
I mean, to me, I just feel like complete cutoff. Like
that's
from
called
everything.
disassociation. That's called disassociation, not complete cut off. But what if I have a disobedient son or daughter who commit major sin? Do they inherit from my money after I die or not?
Honestly, Sheikh, I don't know, so I cannot answer the question.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's okay. But that's why I'm not asking you a question to test your knowledge. And I'm not saying. I'm just asking a question. If you know the answer, you answer. If you don't, that's fine. I'm here to give you the answer. Yes, they do inherit. As long as they sing La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah and they sing I'm a Muslim, they inherit from me. If they're saying I'm not a Muslim, then they don't inherit.
Okay, thank you.
But if they are Muslim, that's fine. It doesn't matter that son or that daughter were good and they were helping me more than others, so that means I give them a share. No, it's not you who give the share. Allah is the one who give the share. Right? So that's what I'm trying to say. So when you say disowning, means the father said that's not my child. That means his wife committed zina then. That's the word disowning يعني. Disowning اللي هو يقول هذا ليس ابني. He's not my son. Because you cannot say he's not my son anymore. يعني he was your son yesterday and today he's not your son. What happened يعني? Like you discovered that he's not your son, but your wife was someone else? No, I mean spiritually. There is no such a thing. Does he still have your name or not? Yeah, he still have my name. Then he's your son. You get it? So there is no such a thing called disowning. And a woman cannot disown the child because she was pregnant in him. You cannot disown him. How are you going to disown him? Yani? Did he come from your womb or not? Did you conceive in him or not? You conceived him or not? Yes, I did. Is this the child that you give birth to? Yes. No, you cannot disown him. There are relationships that you cannot change. Even if your son becomes a kafir, he's still a kafir. You cannot disown. But you can say that, my son is becoming a kafir. So I don't know him. I don't have a relationship with him. He's biologically my son. But faith-wise, I disassociate myself. But he still carries your name around. Okay? The ahkam changes. The rules changes. But the relationship doesn't. The relationship does not change. If you're biologically your child, is biologically your child. Until you both die. I mean, it's still your child. And even carrying forward, he carries your name. Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, his son died as his son. And while his son is a kafir, he did not like what Nuh alayhi salam did. He challenged him. And he was clearly a disbeliever. فhe said, يا رب إن ابني من أهلي. قال يا نوح إنه ليس من أهلك إنه عمل غير صالح أو إنه عمل غير صالح. That's the faith family. But biologically, he's his son. And biologically, father of Ibrahim is his father. It's called Ibrahim لأبيه until he died. So Uncle Abu Talib was uncle of the Prophet. But one is in Jahannam and one is in Jannah. Finally, the biological relationship stays. But the spiritual relationship is the one that you cut off. Spiritual and financial and social and everything. Wallahu a'lam. I hope I give you a general idea with some examples. So to summarize, number one, we have to have the foundation that everything is done for the sake of Allah. Number two, in relationship, we all belong to Allah, so nobody owns anybody. Number three, that you have to have the scenarios played in your head. When to cut off, when to disassociate, when you try and when you do this, and to expect everything that can go wrong. You don't want them to go wrong. Nah. You wish for the best, but you plan for the worst. Ya Allah, save me and my children, Qurrat A'yun and all of that. But be ready if anything wrong happens, what are you going to do exactly? Okay. Then number four, that you know how to handle it. You know how to handle it. You seek counsel, you seek help, you read, you study, you do all of that. And last point, number 5, that I will add now, that we act as a community, as a jama'ah. Individuals who sometimes we fail. I don't have enough experience, but sister such and such has in psychology. Sister such and such has, because her children graduated from college and they have masters and PhDs and they are very good. And brother such and such have some children who did a problem and he's struggling with how he can cope. How is he coping with it? That person is divorced and the person has a successful marriage and so on and so forth. So as a community, we benefit from each other's experience that way. So those are the 5 points that summarize today's lecture. And if you have any questions or follow up in those regard, please, forward them to Sister Iman, and I will, write up the answers or record it, and we'll post it to the chat next time, inshallah. We'll just start Siti.
Assalamualaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum salam.
Can you address on parents who take matters in their own hands, like putting matters in their own hands, for example, like honor killing and stuff like that?
On doing what?
Honor killing.
Oh, a'udhu billah. So Islam says what we do and what we don't. And Islam put the punishment if we do things that we are not supposed to do, or we don't do things that we're supposed to do. Is that clear so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now the part which is not clear or people get confused is who carries that and when is it carried and how is it carried. That is when the problem is. People understand that Islam ordered us to do something, and if you don't do, there is a punishment. Islam told us not to do something, and if you do, there is a punishment. We all know that part. But what we do not know is when is the punishment due? Who decides that? A qualified judge. How the punishment is done? That's a system, like a government and the system. And who carries it? The one in authority. When is when the judge says it is due. And how it is carried and where it is carried and all of that, you have to have a system and authority. Now, if there is no system and authority, and the judge make the hukum, the judge said this person to be stoned, but there is no system for stoning, there is no stoning then. Right? That person, his hand has to be cut. But there was a judge for Misr in Egypt, I think in the 60s or something like that. He said that he would do everything with Sharia. So a person comes and they committed zina, and he said they lash this guy because he's not married, they lash him 100 times and no lashing. So everybody start laughing at his rulings. He was doing his part, but he's leaving it to the system. What I'm trying to say is you need all three. You need the rule in Islam, and you need the judge to pronounce, and you need a system to execute. Okay? يعني if the policeman gives you a ticket and the courts are not open, so the ticket is not going to happen, it's dismissed. So why the officer? Because he said you're wrong. But now who's going to take it to the next step? The court. And then the police officer again comes and enforce it. And they take your license and whatever. So you have to have 3 stages. The law, and this is the Sharia, says. Then the pronouncing of it means a judge and the court has to investigate and prove that that person is due to be punished. And then carrying the punishment is the third authority, the executive. That is why the judicial and the executive, they are different. Executive branch is different, from the president to the guard on the federal building to a police officer in the street. All those are executive branch, FBI, police, all of those. And then you have the judicial, the Senate and the Senate and all that. This is the what they call them, the legislative, that they make the legislative, which is the Sharia. It's already legislated, and we have the fuqaha to tell us the fatwas and all of that. Fatwa is different from judgment, by the way. There are fatwas and whatever happens, if this happens, and then the judge reads these legislations and then pronounce the ruling. Same thing like the 3 branches in America. This is on our religion as well. Legislative is Quran and the Sunnah, and the people of knowledge is jurisprudence on how to understand the Quran and Sunnah and what are the rulings. They are not enforcing anything. Whoever commits zina is this, whoever drinking is that, except if this is that, and how to prove is such and such. That's legislation, fiqh, Quran and Sunnah, and the jurisprudence. Then you have the court system. Court system, when you go to the court system, the judge looks at the legislation and looks at the case and he says, yeah, that applies to this person. No, that applies to that person. There was no 4 witnesses, there are only 3. Then we have to do this, we have to do that, and this is the ruling at the end. Now, that ruling goes to a system, the government and the system, that says how to execute, where to execute, when to execute, when to put in death row, when to stone, when to do that. You do not have those 2 parts now. So it's not me and you. We cannot act upon it on our own. That's why that kid who killed that person in France is wrong. And also whatever France did is wrong. Right? So this is wrong. You cannot carry things on your own. Yeah, they are doing wrong. But there is a system. Where is that system? We don't have it. How to get execute the thing? You don't have a system. You do not have an Islamic court or Islamic Sharia enforced by a judicial system. If you don't have that, then you cannot execute. But everybody carrying on their own. How are you carrying on your own? The honor killing and all that. What is honor killing يعني? في حاجة اسمها honor killing? Honor of who يعني? مفيش حاجة. There is nothing called honor killing. The word honor and killing do not go together. You do not kill someone to preserve their honor or preserve your honor. It's about you يعني? No. So a person is killed when they kill somebody, or when they commit a sin, a major sin that deserves killing, like committing zina. If a person is married, then they die by stoning. But where is that going to be applied? Yeah, people said Islam stoning and cutting. Where is this going to be applied? You have to have a government and the system, not even a faction or a group. Yani. An Islamic center comes and said in the parking lot, we're going to make the hudud. You cannot do that because you belong to another system. So that's irrational. It is foolish. It is haram to do. You cannot carry the hudud on your own. You cannot carry the hudud on your own. Hudud needs a system of government and the system of judiciary to enforce that. But other than that, it's a crime. Amen?
There's another sister asking. She says, "Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I know of a close friend whose father didn't speak to her till he died because she married a Muslim man. What are your thoughts about this from a parent and a child's perspective, as it's more common lately when parents cut off kids who decide to marry someone they don't like who is a practicing Muslim?"
If it's a practicing Muslim and the parents have no valid reason, then the father loses his guardianship over his daughter. Yani this automatically, but she cannot just go and jump over. Now she has to seek the help of someone, a religious scholar or someone, to talk to the father first. And if it doesn't work, he explains to him that they're going to marry her without his permission and all of this, because they do not have a valid reason to refuse. But this does not mean you do not continue the birr and ihsan to your parents. The birr and ihsan being good to your parents and connecting with them, even if they are mushrikeen. If they don't agree, try to talk to them and try to send them messages, try to send them flowers and gifts and stuff, even if they don't reply to you. And if they die, you are not guilty, right? And that is the difference between obedience of the parents and ihsan to the parents. Obedience to the parents is conditioned to the obedience of Allah and following the rules of Allah. لا طاعة لمخلوق في معصية الخالق. The Prophet said no obedience is due upon anyone for someone who disobeys Allah. And إنما الطاعة في المعروف. يعني only you follow and you obey in things approved by the religion. That's it. But if someone says, I don't want you to do that and you have to obey me because I'm your father, no, it does not go all the way, yani, like without conditions. No, I am ordering you because Allah gave me that right. Yeah, then yes, you obey. And if you don't obey, you become disobedient child and a problem. But if your parents died or a father died without a justified reason for their rejection and therefore they're cutting you off, may Allah forgive them, make dua for them, give sadaqah on their behalf, and that's it. I mean, there is no guilt on your side, inshallah. All right? I have to go now, inshallah, to get ready for salah. Jazakumullah khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
السلام
assalam.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.